The Online Treasure Map for Motivational Speakers, Chapter 5. This is Andrew McCauley, and in the 5th chapter, we spoke about giving away your information. Now, we don't mean give away everything so you end up broke. That's the last thing we want you to do. But what we do want you to do is to be able to share your knowledge so that people see exactly how intelligent and how much knowledge you really do have. Once they start seeing that, they're going to want to know more about you and know more about your information. So we spoke about a number of things. One of them we spoke about was forums. Now, we've spoken about forums in a previous chapter. Let's have a look at forums in the sense that we're giving our information away by adding value to the people that are in current forums already. So let's talk about doing a Google search for forums right now. Here we are on Google homepage. And let's say that we enter in how to motivate a teenage boy. Let's say that that was your topic of choice. So we do a search for that. Now, in the chapter, we spoke about how forums often end up at the top of search engine results. So that means if you're in a forum and you post a particular post in a forum and you ask a question that's often answered by a lot of people or asked by a lot of people, you're going to find that even in search results like Google, that information is going to go straight to the top. So here's what I mean here. I've just typed in how to motivate a teenage boy. And you can see that we've had over 1 million results here for that particular search. And the very top one is Cafe Mum and how to motivate an unmotivated but capable teenage. Let's click on this. Now this site here, Cafe Mum, is essentially a forum site. It has a whole range of conversations and questions about different aspects of being a mum, I'm guessing. So the question that I typed into Google brings up this particular question here. Now, the great thing about it is that there's 11 answers, and if you are answering this question on the forum, you can start to become known as an expert by doing this regularly. So you want to start looking for forums that you can interact with and you can share your knowledge with on these forums. Now, if I go back to the Google search, and let's say for some reason there is not a forum around this particular topic, the other way to go and search for forums is on the left-hand side and go down to the Discussions tab. You'll see a Discussions tab down there. Click on that and you'll find that there's 14,000 results. Now, nearly every one of these results is some sort of forum. It's either an question and answer forum, or it's just a general forum straight out. So you can see that there's some awesome results here for knowing about this particular topic. So use forums as much as you can. In Chapter 5, we also spoke about looking for other blogs to borrow authority on. So what we mean by that is you go into connect with other people who own blogs around the same target market or the same topic. It doesn't have to be competition. It can just be something you may want to joint venture with. You may want to go and speak to them and say, I'd like to do a blog post for you on a specific topic. And knowing that their audience is going to be the right audience for you, then you can go ahead and do that. Now, how do you find those sort of blogs? Well, it's quite a simple method. Let's have a look at Google again. And let's say we're going to talk about motivation for young men. So I typed that in up the top there. Now, what I've got here is a whole range of different blogs. You can see over 1 million blogs that come back from motivation for young men. Now, I'd scroll down and I'd look for a blog post or a website that would be targeted for my audience. So let's say, for instance, I look at this one here, the second one, and this blog post comes up. I may look through it and check out what's going on here, see if it's relevant for my audience. Now, if I don't think it's relevant, then I wouldn't bother connecting or contacting them. Having a look at this having a look at this website anyway, you can see that there is no contact us page, so I wouldn't even bother. So this one would be written off. I'd say no to that. Now, if I can't find a blog post that's relevant in this particular list here, I might change the words up the top. Let's say that I was going to change it motivation for teens. So I type in that and I get back a range of different results, 1.6 million results. And I'll once again look through and see if there's anything relevant. Now, let's say that I see this one here, the 7 Secrets of Motivating Teenagers. And this site looks pretty good. It could be what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the right target audience. So maybe this is it for me. So I'd look for a contact page, which is just here. Click on that, fill in my name and details, and then I put in my message. And my message would go something like, hey, I'm looking for someone to joint venture with. I'd like to write an article for your blog. I'd like you to write an article for my blog as well. perhaps we could share resources, something like that. So that would be a good way of doing it. So once again, it's just an easy way to go through and find somebody else who's writing about your topics and sharing your audience. Okay, then we moved on to LinkedIn, and we talked about two aspects of LinkedIn. One was the groups section. So let's have a look at groups here. Now this is a LinkedIn profile, and to go and search for groups that are relevant in your market, all you need to do is log into your account, and then you want to go to groups. Now go to the groups directory right there, click on groups directory, and you're going to see that it's going to bring up every single group that LinkedIn has, which is quite a lot. You can see that number there. So you can go and narrow this down. You can search two places. You can search on the left-hand side there, or you can search up in the box just there. So let's say that we want to look for motivation as part of a group name. Click on motivation, and it's going to come back and show us 794 results. So we can skip through these particular groups. What we want to do is there's a couple of things you'd like to look at. You want to look at the name of the group, how active they are, how many people are in the group. Now, this could be a good thing. If you've got a lot of people in there, it could be a very busy group, and it may be very hard to sort of get some traction. When you're starting out, I would strongly suggest that you look for a group that's got maybe 50 to 300 people, so that you can be in there regularly and posting information for people so they get to know who you are. Now, once you're in the group, you may want to just join the conversation, answer some questions, but don't ever try to sell yourself. Just get in there and get known for being a person that's providing great answers. So once again, you go through the groups. You want to look at what's going on in the groups. Make sure it's not a spammy group. Make sure that the intentions of the group is good, because that's one of the things that you really want to make sure you're watching, is that the intentions of the group are exactly what you're looking for. So that's an easy way to look for groups. Some groups are private, which means that you need to get permission to join, and then other groups are just open, so you can join them pretty easily. And then the other part of LinkedIn that we looked at was the answers section. So here's the answers section. You can access the answers section by clicking on the more button over there and then scrolling down to answers. Now, if you click on the answer button, you'll see that there's a place for you to ask a question, and you can enter that question and people will answer it. You can also search questions that have been asked so that you can go and answer some of those questions. So let's say, for instance, we're going to talk about motivation again. So let's just type in motivation, and then just let's see what sort of questions we have. So click on motivation, and you can see that there's a whole range of different motivation questions that have been asked. You can see how many answers there are, who's asked it, and what date they asked it. Now this could be a little bit behind the times back there in 2009, but you can see what sort of questions there are. So it's one of those things that you want to go and check out and then start interacting with. Now, it's also a good place to research. But let's say, what do you do to motivate yourself? Now, let's say you've got a great answer for that. You may want to click on that. Let me just give you an analysis of the answers section. So the basic question is up the top, and you can see who's asked it. Now, the great thing about this is when you answer these questions, your name appears on the left-hand side, but not just your name with a link to your profile, but a little blurb about exactly what you do. It also lets people know how many answers you've actually answered for other people in the past. In this case here, this person's answered 748 questions. So you can scroll down and check the answers out. You can have a look at the people that are asking or answering the question, and you can just see what sort of responses they're putting up there. So it's a great way to start getting your name appearing on these particular sides over here. It's a very, very powerful tool, and if you spend just a couple of minutes a day answering one or two questions, that will soon rack up pretty quickly. Alright, that's LinkedIn, a quick overview of answers and also groups. And then the final website we talked about in the book was Harrow, Help a Reporter Out. Now this is Help a Reporter Out. It's a pretty simple sign-up process. Put your name, email address and password there, and then submit it. And what will happen is there will be reporters get this sort of stuff, and if they're looking for a story or they need someone to interview for a particular topic, they will contact you straight to your inbox, and you can jump on the phone, give them a call, and say, "Hey, I'm the person that you need to be interviewing for." So that's Harrow. Help a reporter out. Definitely worth it. The costs on that at the moment, $19 a month or $50 a month for advanced. Up to you what sort of package you want to choose, but have a look at that, and strongly encourage you doing that one as well. Okay, that's chapter 5.